Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about focal length. What is the best focal length for street photography? I get this question a lot. This leads to two questions. How big is your subject in the frame? And how close are you to the subject? If you want to capture more of the scene, a wide-angle lens is ideal. But if you want to focus on the subject, a portrait lens is a better option. For instance, you can take a medium shot of a person from a distance using an 85mm lens, or use a 35 while standing right in front of the person. In fact, I have experimented with different focal lengths for street photography, and each of them has its own advantages. To make it easier to understand, I also display the distance between me and the subject on the screen. A wide-angle lens is excellent for capturing the environment. The difference between 24 and 35 is not significant. You can just move your feet. From 50 to 85 are considered portrait lens because they make the subject stand out and create a blurred background with shallow depth of field. This can help declutter the scene. Lenses beyond 100 are used for wildlife photography. I use them when traveling to capture a mix of wildlife and travel photos, but I don't usually use them for street photography. So it's important to understand how different focal lengths affect the compression of your photos. This was my go-to camera 10 years ago. Rangefinders are small and compact, making them perfect for street photography as they don't draw too much attention. Some photographers prefer 35 because its angle of view resembles that of the human eye. I find telephoto lens to be too bulky for photo walks. I usually just carry one lens with me. Minimizing the need to switch lens on the go is always a good idea. The time of day is also important. If I had to select one lens for nighttime shoot, the 85 1.8 would be a no-brainer. It performs well in low light with its wide aperture, creating a shallow depth of field. This allows me to use a lower ISO while still achieving sharp and detailed images. A long lens can be a powerful tool to flatten an image into distinct foreground, midground, and background layers. By compressing the scene, it can also bring the subject closer to the audience, resulting in a more engaging photo. Sometimes I like to switch things up. On bright and sunny days, it's the perfect time to capture silhouettes and long shadows around the city. A smaller aperture works perfectly to achieve clean lines and sharpness. I've talked about decluttering using a long lens. In this style of high-contrast street photography, you can declutter by pushing the highlights and shadows in Lightroom. A zoom lens allows me to quickly adjust the framing. It's wide enough to capture the entire structure. I also have the flexibility to zoom in for details. Do I use my 85 during the day? Absolutely. Here are some examples. What fascinates me the most is how it can bring together diverse elements. In this image, you can see two individuals going about their lives. They were both on their phones. They probably cannot see each other in real life, but it makes an interesting image. If you have an 1855 kit lens for your APS-C camera, it's similar to using a 2470 on a full-frame camera. Speaking of APS-C cameras, during my visit to San Francisco to see my cousin, I had the opportunity to swap cameras with him, which was a fun experience. His Canon was an entry-level camera, so I got to experiment with the kit lens. And thanks to the sunny weather, the small aperture was not an issue at all. So don't underestimate the quality of kit lens. They can produce great photos. To many people, focal length seems to be a concern. It's definitely an important aspect, but as I mentioned, we shouldn't limit ourselves to just one or two lenses. Rangefinder, prime lens, and kit lens are all fine by me. So think about the lighting condition and the desired outcome you aim to achieve. I hope my photo examples give you some clarity on lens choices. What's your favorite focal length? I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one.